Hey folks, welcome back to the channel.
Hello.
So today is a super special video.
Yeah.
As part of the, now I'm going to try and get this right, Little Axolotl collaboration organised by Erica from Kitschy Kitten Studios. I tell you, try saying that
3 times fast.
3 times fast. It's
We'll
never
try saying
happen.
it once.
Or in my case, yeah, try saying it once.
Yeah.
So this was a real fortuitous collaboration because I think the collaboration was announced the day after I received this mould. So yay me. And I made one, which you can see in the background there, but that was for something different. So
obviously, sort of spoil it, wouldn't it? If it was like, there it is in the background, thanks. 50 seconds in.
50 seconds in, and there it is. Yeah. We're done. Thank you for joining us. Right. So I decided for this collaboration, I was going to do
an axolotl.
An axolotl.
Yeah.
And I was going to do 2, and I was going to go with a fire and ice theme.
Ooh.
I was feeling all themed up.
Okay.
I don't know why that came out like that. But anyway, so the first thing I did was in the horns of the axolotl, I put some UV and hoped that worked.
What, the UV?
That the horns were accurate in the horns. And then I took some resin and I poured in some, as you can see, beautiful sparkle in it's like a blue shift.
Did you put some glue in there as well?
There is a little bit of glue in there as well. Yeah.
Do you only need just a tiny amount there? Because I'd have put loads more into that. You
only need 1 drop.
Okay.
1 drop until you feel it's gloopy. You can add more if you want, but I didn't want to add more. I wanted that much.
Okay.
So once that was done, I then added some black. However, I would say that what I did prior to adding the black was I added some magic blue interference powder that I got from Resin Supplies Den. However, unfortunately, there was a slight technical issue.
When you say technical issue,
I didn't press record.
Yeah.
But fortunately, because I do 2, you see the process in much more detail in the second one. So it's exactly the same process, just different colours. Okay, right.
If you record it.
I do record the whole thing because you shouted at me. Oops, sorry. Right, so into the horns, I take some UV resin and I add a little bit of the Light Wish UV.
It's
pigment.
Yeah.
Now this pigment is I love it because it's
sparkly.
It's sparkly, and you can add it, and it will still cure. So I just adore it.
I presume that there is a point where if you add too much, it won't cure.
Yeah, but that's like all UV resins. It's usually around the 10% mark. I don't know what it is with UV, but with that, you only need a couple of drops.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the shimmer on there. It's beautiful.
Is it because it's purple as well?
That's red.
That looks purple.
It's red.
That definitely looks purpley.
It's the purple side of the red.
So purple.
No, red. Look, it's red. It says red on the bottle. Red is what we're going with. Now,
okay.
I used one of these
pipettes.
Oh, I tell you.
I've never actually used one of those.
Well, you won't now because I've used them all. But it was not the most fun I've ever had because you squish the top and it doesn't suck properly, and then you press the top and it doesn't squeeze properly. So
you were going to say blow then.
I was going to say blow, but it doesn't blow. Look, I wasn't overly impressed by them, but it was a necessary evil.
Yeah.
So once I'd cured that, I mixed up a little bit of epoxy resin.
Yeah.
And I split it into 3 little tubs, as you can see there. And then into one, I added some yellow glitter.
Yeah.
And I added a good...
I was going to say that's...
Good amount. What?
I see. I start using stuff like that, and like after a couple of drops have gone in, you're having palpitations.
You don't use it properly.
How do I not use it properly?
Well, it's just you just don't, and everybody knows that. So let's not discuss it here.
Why?
So because anyway,
Yes.
I added some yellow. I added some orange, and can you guess what colour is coming out?
Purple.
No, red. I had some fine red. This is the fire one.
Oh.
So my intent is to get the sort of the fin part of the axolotl.
The tips of the I don't know what they have. They're not scales, are they? Like fins or
It's a tail. I don't know what the bits of an axolotl's called. All I know is I saw this mould and thought, oh, I quite like that. And I got it, and then the collaboration was announced. And I thought, wow, if ever there was a spot of luck, there it was.
It's almost like that Erica was waiting for you to get the mould.
It was. I feel that she knew. She channeled it to me before, and then I got the mould ready.
She spoke to you in your dreams. Get an axolotl mould.
She did, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. So, if she'd like to send me some more requests, that would be great. So, what I did then is I took some Tiny Turner Inferno because I thought, well, it's called Inferno, so it's going to be fire-like.
Yeah, no, that is a beautiful pigment, to be fair.
And I thought, I'm going to give him a fiery head.
A fiery head?
A fiery head, because I thought it would contrast quite nicely with the
red, the orange, and the yellow.
Well, no, I thought it would contrast quite nicely with the horns.
Oh,
the
okay.
Horns are quite a pale colour.
Yeah.
You see? So that was my thought process there.
Okay.
And then, obviously, a little bit of PVA because I don't want all the glue sinking.
Or the glue sinking, or
not the glue sinking, the glitter sinking.
Yeah.
So I just popped a little drop into all of them.
So you've put one in that one in the yellow, and then there's 4 or 5 drops there.
See, you speak too soon, don't you? See?
Normally.
I go back and I'd add a bit more.
Yeah, but you still only add 2 drops to that one.
But they were bigger drops.
They were bigger drops.
They were bigger drops.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they were bigger drops.
Okay.
So I wanted the red to be a bit gloopier because I wanted the red and the orange and the yellow to blend in a kind of fire-like way.
Yeah.
So I wanted the red to be the gloopiest. So it would.
So you wanted the red to be the heaviest.
Yeah.
The orange to be in between
the red and the yellow.
The red and the yellow, and the yellow to be on top. So that yellow, when you put the yellow on the top, because it's lighter, it won't sink through the other ones.
That's it. That's exactly what I wanted.
A bit like when you make one of those rainbow cocktails and things like that. You put the heaviest colour at the bottom.
I don't think I've ever had a rainbow cocktail.
No?
No.
We should have one.
We should definitely have one. I would be very intrigued.
Okay.
So, life goal, rainbow cocktail.
Okay.
In the meantime,
yeah,
I've got my glitter cocktail going. So,
yeah.
I've got the red in. I've added the yellow, the orange, and now I've just added the yellow.
Yeah.
And then I sort of just kind of had to wait a little bit. I tipped the mould a fraction because I wanted the tail to be completely full.
Yeah.
But
I must say that the support for the tail is not the best.
It's not the strongest support, but then if I was just curing it like you're supposed to, it would have been fine. But I specifically wanted it at an angle. So that's probably why.
Okay.
So I then took the red interference powder and I just coated the legs and basically all the rest of the exposed mould.
Yeah.
So the idea being that
it's on fire.
It's on fire, but it's only really his tail, like the central part of his body that's on fire.
Okay.
So I don't know. I was winging it.
That's unlike you.
I was completely winging it.
I'm surprised you didn't have a spreadsheet with like the every part of the axolotl.
No, you know that I don't plan projects like that. I know themes. That's it.
Yeah.
I have themes.
No, you come up with a theme and you go, right, I've come up with this fab theme. What I want you to do now is to actually just conceptualize that and then make it happen.
Yeah, I don't see what's wrong with that. I feel my process has been working for us, so shush you. Now, once I'd finished doing all the mica, I mixed up some white epoxy resin.
Well done.
So it was clear epoxy resin that I just added some white pigment to, and it was just the standard Vista that we always use. And then I thought, I need something a bit more zhuzh.
You need to add a bit more zhuzhy to it.
I need some zhuzhy. So I've got some, that diamond dust is actually, it's got a red tint to it. So I put that in and I thought, ooh.
You went, ooh?
I did. When I put it in, I went, ooh.
I like those little diamond dust
I know you do. That's why they are now situated right in front of my desk.
Yeah.
Because every time I turn around, you're at them.
I am.
They are actually really nice.
They are. And I use them in...
everything.
Not everything, but most things, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
But in black, they work really well.
I've never used them in white, so I thought it would be quite an interesting test to see what they're like. And through the magic of YouTube, we've gone back in time and I'm now demoulding the ice axolotl.
Yeah.
Now this was only the second time that I've ever demoulded this thing.
Axolotl.
And I can't keep saying that.
What?
It's so difficult. I'm just going to call him
Eric. Call him Eric.
I'm not calling him Eric.
So why you were demoulding Eric?
I found it really difficult to get him out of the mould. I really did. So I will be watching today's collaboration, if nothing else, to find out how everybody's doing it, because it took me, as you are seeing, forever. I tried take the hands out first, get the legs out first, but his tail was a nuisance. I was just like, okay, I don't know how to do it. So it took me a while.
Yeah.
But at one point, I genuinely thought, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
No?
Yeah. I thought I'd just give up. He can just stay in the mould. He obviously is comfortable.
Is it safe to say that mould would not be good for aquacast?
It definitely would not be good for aquacast. Moulds like that, definitely not used for aquacast.
No?
No.
It does seem to take you a while.
It really does. And it's because I get his hands out and then I'm like, do I get his head out? But he's also got horns.
Yeah.
So, and his tail. And because it's a brand spanking new mould, new moulds are always difficult when you first get them because they haven't been stretched in any way. Whereas the second time I demould this, it's a little bit easier because I've stretched it.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
You know, it's like jeans, isn't it? When you've just washed your jeans and you put them on, they're a little bit tighter than they are the second time you wear them.
Is it though?
Yeah.
It's not like the extra cake that's been eaten, or
I don't eat that much.
No,
cake.
I wasn't saying you. I'm just
cookies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cookies, really. Right. So here he is.
This is ice.
This is ice.
Yeah.
Ice baby. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
Wow.
But
that was beautiful.
I know. I'm just serenading everyone now.
Yeah.
There we go. Look how pretty he is.
That's cool. I like that.
I genuinely.
I like the transition between the head and the tail because the head is quite dark.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
I know.
Well done, you.
I'm not going to lie. I was so happy. I was literally going, oh, as I was unmoulding him. Because, well, when I'd finished unmoulding him, when I was actually unmoulding him, I was like, come out, you.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a couple of little holes. Is that a hole?
No, that's glitter.
Oh, is it?
Holes. How rude.
I don't have holes in my makes.
Do not have holes in my resin. Thank you very much. I point them out if I've got holes, but that's definitely no. That's just where the glitter seeped into the lead.
Right. Okay.
And I actually don't mind it because you know.
So so you put the UV into the horns first.
Yes.
Is that because they look quite fiddly to actually get resin in and just make sure that?
No, it's because I wanted them a different colour.
Oh,
I
okay.
specifically wanted them that colour because that is UV with blue ghost pigment.
Yeah.
Well, the UV.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, so I specifically wanted them that colour.
Okay.
Because I thought it looked really cool.
It does look really cool.
Thank you. I was incredibly chuffed with this
Axolotl.
Axolotl.
So Eric, the axolotl.
Yeah. So I was so happy with him. I gave him eyes. Things that I'm not overly happy with don't get eyes. They just stay blind. Because I'm not wasting. I don't waste the ink on their eyes.
Okay. So for future reference, then, anything you make that has eyes but you don't actually highlight the eyes and give them pupils and things like that.
Yeah.
You don't like them.
Well, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That is true. I can't believe you've never noticed it. But yeah.
No, I can't say that I have, but I'm going to watch out for it now.
I should get quiet, shouldn't I?
I'll just point it out as well on the videos when I'm editing. I'll just put, look, no eyes. Nikki hates this.
No, you won't. Stop being such a. You're very contrary today.
Yeah.
I feel that it was Froggy Friday yesterday, and I feel that Mr. Wendy's influence upon you is not healthy.
What do you mean?
Well, I get a day of sass after you've been in Froggy Friday trawl. Don't I?
It's not just Fridays.
Well, it's a higher level today. So anyway, I gave him a mouth as well. So this axolotl, you can tell I really liked him because he got eyes. He's got
the full works.
He's got a nose. He's even got a mouth. I mean, he got everything.
I'm surprised you didn't put like a hat on him or something.
It's not what we do.
No.
We don't do that.
You might do.
We don't.
You could do.
We don't own hats. And I feel that a hat would detract from his beauty.
You think so?
I think so, yeah. I like him as he is. He's stunning.
No, it is.
I was genuinely like, oh, check me out. I'm like an artiste.
I am an artiste.
I am an artiste. I was really chuffed. I was. And I even UV'd his eyes to make him.
Wow, you really liked it.
I really went to town. Yeah. Yeah, there was no messing about. I was like, I like this. I know.
Yeah, no, that is
And I even hid it when Little Humans came over because I thought if they see that, that's not staying here. That'll go.
And if you're listening to this, little human, maybe ask Grandma next time you're here. You can see the secret stash of makes
that they're not allowed to see. No, I'm actually going to make them a pink one and a purple one each.
Okay.
I think they're really pretty. Now, this is the fire unmoulding. This is the friend.
Is it a friend?
It's a friend, yeah, they're friends.
Fire and ice?
Yeah, they're friends.
Okay.
Opposites attract.
Wouldn't the ice one melt?
I don't know. It's an 80s song, Opposites Attract. I can't remember who sang it, but it was there. I remember it.
Paula Abdul.
It was Paula Abdul. And now that song is going round and round and round. Oh, earworms. Thanks.
That's okay.
But as you can see, it was a little bit easier, but not that much. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I do think it's worth it. It's worth the wait. Everyone is now skipping forward, going away. So I'm like, she's never getting through it.
Well, if you fast forward it, yeah. There is that.
I was really worried about that hand because it's still a smidgen soft.
You could see it was.
Yeah, I was a little bit impatient, and I thought maybe if it's a bit softer, it might be a smidgen easier. No, not really.
No,
it wasn't.
I just thought it'd have been worse because it's still bendy.
Yeah, but I thought if I bend it, I'm not going to break it.
Yeah, I suppose.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
But it came off a little bit easier. So I think by the time I've made, I don't know, 5 more, I'll have the hang of it.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice, it's a Let's Resin mould, and it is really good. So.
Ooh.
Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Drum roll. That's
so
cool.
Pretty. I was really chuffed. Can you see his leg?
Yeah.
They get a little blob in their leg from the glitter, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things.
To be fair, that's exactly the same place as the other one.
It's the other one, yeah.
So it's sort of.
I genuinely don't mind.
And you can see the transition. I mean, the red has overtaken it quite a bit. Then you. So you obviously didn't like this one because you threw it.
I just checked it. No, I was genuinely really quite happy with it. I was proper chuffed.
So that one doesn't get eyes.
He does get eyes, but I thought you've already seen me put eyes on, so you don't need to see it again. So I thought we'll take some glamour shots. Now, if you've stuck with us till now, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And if you like our particular brand of chaotic crafting, do feel free to hit the like button.
And while you're down there, give the subscribe a tickle.
And if you already have, thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Don't forget the playlist is in the description.
Yeah.
Make sure you check everybody out. There are some really, really great artists taking part.
Yeah.
And I certainly look forward to finding out how you unmould this particular creature. Have a great weekend, folks. And we will hopefully see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye for now.